If it's easy for a native doctor to give you money,
yeah,
why can't the native doctor make his son a wealthy person?
Like, yeah, check that nigga. Like,
yeah.
But like, yo, you need to chill. Like,
yes,
ain't gonna be none of that.
One day in summer, one day in winter.
Yeah.
One day summer, one day winter.
No, switch it up. Next time, do one day in fall, one day in spring.
Is that how you hate them or you join them?
I mean, I belong to Jesus because I'm not quite sure.
Because we couldn't believe that Will would be subjected to some of the type of shit he's being subjected to right now.
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is another episode of Really Uncomfortable, where we talk about everything we feel, and we feel like if it makes you uncomfortable, you probably should be talking about it. Today, we have two special guests with me. They're gonna be a part of our regular panel. One is joining us live and in person. You've seen him already. He probably triggered you in a previous video, but we move. So, this is Chinedu.
Hi guys.
And we have another one of our panelists who's gonna be a regular, who was a regular on our podcast. He's gonna introduce himself.
Your boy Too Easy. What
Yeah.
up? What up? What up?
Welcome everybody. So I'm gonna be speaking for females today, guys. So I got your back, don't worry. I'm gonna be with the guys. But they're two similar, but also very different guys. So I feel like we're gonna get some good perspectives. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment if you like videos like this. We're gonna touch some hot topics, and we're also gonna give some discussion topics that affect both Black communities and specifically Nigerian communities. So stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna give my royalty award later on in this episode also. First of all, has anything caught you guys' eye in the media lately that you wanna throw in before I start hot topics?
Anything that's caught my eye?
Yeah, anything that's been like on your chest that you wanna like really talk about? We can discuss it later, but I just wanna give you guys the space, you know, the room.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still kind of fresh, and so I don't know if I want to touch on it too much yet, but I'm sure people know this now. Travis Scott, he had a concert for Astroworld where it was about 50,000 people there, and some people were hospitalized and actually died at the concert.
Yeah,
and so he's getting a lot of backlash for that, obviously, because in the concert he was pretty much like ignoring all the people who were, fainting or being hospitalized, like essentially getting killed in the concert. So, and then he put out some bullshit apology, and to me, like I didn't really care for it because me as someone who's pretty knowledgeable on Travis Scott, like he does this all the time. So
so he's always kind of negligent, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he eggs on. Like, there's even clips of him, like, egging on for them to even go harder and go wilder in the concert and in the crowd. So that's just how he does. Like, it's a thing, like, where they, they rage, they riot, they mosh pit, they do that type of stuff. So him giving an apology, talking about he didn't know what was going on and he's devastated. But at the same time, like, if you watch that video, it doesn't seem like he really gives a to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I heard one of the one of the people that was there said that she had told him, like he was told about what was going on, and he heard people screaming, and he still was like ignoring it, like let's just keep going, you know what I mean? So
So my point, I'm saying to bring that up because I mean, if you don't give a fuck, you don't have to give a fuck. Just be real with it. Don't come on there and act like I'm just so devastated and perturbed about what happened out there. So prayers. Bro.
No, literally, that's what he did in the video. He was literally like.
So that's all my thing to celebrities, and because obviously I'm a regular nigga, but to celebrities out there, if you don't have to put on the facade. Everybody knows the truth. Okay?
Yeah.
So you don't have to lie to kick it. And that's one of the main things that I saw that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But
The first hot topic that I wanted to discuss is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, right? So Will Smith has come out with a memoir. It's not out yet. I think it comes out November 11th, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I'll put the correct date on the screen. And he has a memoir basically detailing his life, and he talks about a lot of stuff in there. He talks about his relationship with his father, how his father used to abuse his mother, and how that affected him, and how the Will Smith persona that he kind of created to protect himself didn't really work for him in the end, and the guilt he's felt and the shame, and he touches a little bit on his marriage, but that's not the primary thing, but that's all the tabloids want to talk about. So basically people are saying, and also Jada Pinkett Smith on her Red Table Talk kind of talked about the fact that at one point on her 50th birthday, she mentioned that she wants to learn the real meaning of love.
I really want to learn how to love, but I know what it isn't. Yeah. You know, and I'm just on the journey of really understanding what love is.
And what it really means to love somebody. And people were like, how crazy is that her daughter and her mother are sitting there and she's talking about that she's trying to learn how to love. Yes, she has, but I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. Let me just get it out, okay? So, and then also on a recent episode, last week's episode, she talked about the fact that it was like they were having a sex expert on. And they were basically explaining, you know, how to maintain a healthy sexual relationship and throughout a lifetime of being together with somebody. And Jada basically talked about that, yeah, it can be difficult. You have to learn to communicate. And immediately people were like, yeah, I bet you're not satisfied. That's why you had to go get August Alsina and y'all not doing good in the bed. Clearly entanglement. Come on, entanglement. You know what I mean? Just petty, stupid stuff. So basically people who are more on the mature side of the comments have felt like Will and Jada are sharing too much of the relationship. It was kind of kept under wraps. It was kind of, you know, there were rumors here and there, but for the most part, they were like a respected union. And now since they've let people into their lives and been vulnerable, that they're talking too much. Especially people feel like Jada's doing too much. Like she's talking too much. She needs to just be quiet. That's enough. So how do you guys feel about it?
My take about it is people have different ways of healing. You know, these two people have come from a very dark spot where I believe if they can turn back the hands of time, they would have fixed some of these things, a lot of things that's going on right now. So, like, I just feel some people feel if they share it out there, take it off the chest,
yeah,
it's a better form of healing. And regardless of what people think, people always say something, whether you say anything or you don't say anything, people always have an opinion about who you are, your personality, and the rest of it. So if Will Smith feels like coming out, writing a book, or coming out to say something is his best way of finding himself as a man, I don't have a problem with that. It's just people just heal differently. So
yeah,
that's how I see it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Well, how do you feel?
I was gonna let you go first.
Oh, okay, I can go. Okay.
I feel like I have a lot to say, so.
Oh God. My thoughts on it are genuinely, right? I kind of understand where they're both coming from. I feel like for a long time in their relationship, specifically Jada felt like, because she had said previously that she never really wanted to be this big star, right? She wanted to act maybe in like a small way, get out her artistic freedom, and she's just kind of a free spirit. And I always kind of felt that about her. Like I always found it beautiful, but also interesting that like, wow, her and Will are together. Like Jada seemed like so free and Will is more traditional, right? Awesome, but kind of a traditional guy. And that seems like their actual dynamic. And Jada was not that traditional, right? So I think now they're giving each other the freedom to kind of like open up and release themselves. And I just wish people would focus more on like their journey. And I feel like Will he says that he's used this persona in the, you know, happy, jolly Will. Remember we had talked about previously that 7 pounds, we were like, it's such a stretch for Will because he's such a happy person and he really just like made himself so depressed for the role. But clearly,
fun Will movies, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? But looking at his past with his father, I could see where he pulled that from. Like he has a dark past with his dad. So, but we never knew that. We always thought it was just happy-go-lucky Will Smith, whatever. And now he had mentioned in his article with GQ that he had talked to, because he was going through it in his 40s, and he had talked to Denzel Washington about what is going on in my 40s. Like, I do not understand what's happening. And that Denzel said it's the funky 40s. You're going to go through it, but once you get to 50, excuse my language, it's going to be the 50s. You're just going to do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to say, and you're just going to have like a need to be free. But I feel like people are just focusing on this like messy stuff with this entanglement, which yes, it was shocking. But I'm like, y'all, let's like let these people be free. Like, do we really at this point in this 2021, in this pandemic, we've all survived, right? Are we really gonna like chastise and shame these people for finally opening up when they don't have to? They could have gone their whole lives being completely closed off. Why are you laughing? Being completely I feel like you're about to be so petty. So let me get my maturity out so you can be petty. So I just feel like people should just allow them to be free. Like, allow them the space to be human beings. They're humans. They're not perfect like we thought they were. Big deal. Like, you know what I mean? So, all right, Easy, go do your petty ass shit. I know you about to just be. I know you're. Let me just clutch my pearls.
I actually agree with both of you.
Okay.
I guess I'm torn, right? And okay, hearing both of you talk, you probably now lean more on your side with this whole situation, even with the drama and the scandal, is that they are opening up and letting us into their lives. Like, for years, the Smith family have been viewed as like the gold standard of family. Everybody, like, the most common quote is like, they just get it, like they understand life, they understand marriage and parenting and all that stuff. Yeah. So with everything coming out now, like that, they're showing like, all that glitters ain't gold. Like, this is actually the reality, and we're mostly
the struggles.
Like everybody else. Like, we're in a normal ass marriage. There's gonna be ups and downs and everything. So I appreciate that. On the flip side, what I don't appreciate is that whole I need to know what true love is like. My question to you is, was she saying that like she's still searching for that now, or is that what she was searching for? Like,
no, she's saying because they asked her, what are you looking forward to in your 50s or something like that. So somebody asked her, what is something that you're in search of for your 50s? And she said that
she wants to know what true love is.
No. She wants to understand the meaning of love. Like, what does it mean to love, not what true love is.
How long has she been married?
She's been married for 23 years or something.
Sometimes when people ask such a thing, it's based on where they're coming from. It's not like it has nothing to do with. For me, from how I saw it, has nothing to do with her relationship with
Will necessarily.
It's just the drama. It's just the drama. And the whole scandal that happened, like how it all affected them. At this point in time, she's asking the question, okay, how do I want to see him? Like, how can I express love to him without having something to do with him? Do you understand? That's where this whole kind of question thing comes out from.
But I feel like besides Will, I feel like people aren't taking into account that she had a horrible, terrible, non-existent relationship with her father, right? So she never had a father. Like, she constantly says that she's kind of not envious, but you know what I mean? Like, kind of admires the way that Will is with Willow, because, and it shows her what a father's love for her daughter is, because she never had that, right? So she has that. She obviously is married to Will, and they've had their ups and downs in their marriage. Her mother was on drugs majority of her childhood, and her mother's been married and divorced 4 times, right? So she's seen that example of love. Her children have had things that they've done that are completely different from what she wanted them to do. And even on the show, they've talked about, like, this affected me this way and this affected me this way. So I think all of those things, she just wants to know, like, what does it really mean to love a person?
So here's my thing, and I feel like here's what the issue is publicly, right?
Right.
The venom that she's getting.
Right, okay.
Will Smith
is
like, he's like the male version of Beyonce to us.
Yeah.
We grew up on Will.
Yeah.
From Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
From like, we've been rooting. So Will's like our guy. Like, 100% approval rating.
Yeah.
The most, and you see him in interviews. You see him like, if there's anybody who's a solid dude, Will's a solid dude.
Yeah.
And as a result of the August Alsina situation, and as a result of some of these interviews, we're seeing our dude get trashed.
Yeah.
Publicly.
Yeah.
Like being viewed, like being optics wise, he's being mistreated.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, like it's like watching Superman like just keep constantly getting his ass beat. And but we're still supposed to like
the person, the villain.
It's just not. So it's hard for people to wrestle because it's like we don't need to know this about Will. We don't need to know that you're struggling to find love with him. You guys separated, and then you found this other guy and all that stuff. Which why level up? I appreciate the honesty about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like the same thing with, I'm sure, how women felt about Jay-Z when they found out what he did to Beyonce, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, Beyonce, 100% approval rating. It's hard for people to get past the fact that Jay-Z did whatever he did.
Yeah.
Whether he made, a beautiful album with discussing everything, explaining it, I thought it was very poignant, but it's like, you still did that shit to Beyonce.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Jada, you're gonna kind of have to wear this. Like,
yeah.
Or you don't. Like, I mean, you're a grown ass woman. Like, just like Janae said, like, you don't, like, this is your life. You don't have to give a what people view you.
Yeah.
If this is you getting your truth out, like, I applaud you. No problem with that. But at the same time, you can't be upset that people are not too, like, welcome to the shit that you're saying.
Yeah.
So she kind of got to wear that. You kind of just got to take your lumps, Lady Future. You kind of have to.
Don't do that. She is not Lady Future. Jada, the opinions of Too Easy on this episode do not reflect the opinions of the Really Uncomfortable.
Low Down Dirty Shame was one of my favorite movies. I love you in there.
Come
I
on.
have nothing but love for you, Jada, but Will is our guy.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wear some of this. Because we couldn't believe that Will would be subjected to some of the type of shit he's been subjected to right now.
Oh, I know. It is hard though. A whole Will Smith, like, this is not just any average guy. This is like Will Smith that has made us laugh and motivated us. Yeah. And like, yeah, I know. I get it, but I just wish people would just like.
Imagine if Michelle Obama was doing this shit to Barack Obama.
God forbid.
Like, huh?
Like,
Barack?
I know. All right, okay. So we're gonna shift from that. We love you both, but we have feelings. So
I love you both.
Yes,
Still
yes.
watching Red Table Talk.
Exactly. And I'm gonna get your book, Will. We're gonna do some discussion topics in between before we move into our Nigerian hot topic, and then I'm gonna have an ending discussion topic, right? Mm-hmm. So this next story is the Alec Baldwin story, right? So I didn't really touch on this on last episode. If anybody hasn't seen it in the news, this is the short summary of it. Alec Baldwin is basically on the set of a movie that he's filming, and apparently there was a lot of mess going on this set, right? The person that was in charge of their props quit the day before because people weren't treated well on set, allegedly. So on the set, he was handed a prop gun, and prop guns are not supposed to have real bullets in them, but it did, and he was supposed to shoot in a scene, and he shot and killed a camera woman. She has a daughter. There's an investigation still going on to find out who handed him the prop gun, so you can imagine, like, he's completely traumatized. Like, he's killed a person. We don't know what's going to happen. That's still under investigation, right? So coming off of that, he was basically driving with his wife, and people have feelings about his wife. If you don't know, his wife basically was accused of pretending to be a Latin person when she's actually a white woman. So she pretended to be Hispanic.
What?
Yeah, she used to speak with a whole accent. She said her name was Hilaria when her name is Hillary. like a whole thing, right? So keep that in the back of your mind on how people feel about her, right? Right?
That is wild.
Yes, like crazy, ridiculous. So basically they were driving and paparazzi accosted them, and he felt compelled to come out of the car because he hadn't spoken on it. He wrote a letter or a statement, but he hadn't spoken about it. So they were asking him, what's going on. He said that legally I can't say anything. They said I can't say anything, but I'm hurt about it. That was my friend. It wasn't just somebody on a set. And his wife is recording because she's trying to make sure, nobody tries to twist what he says, basically. I'm going to assume that's why. And she's trying to step in to basically stop him from speaking to them. And he's like, I'm going to insert the video here.
I've been ordered by the Sheriff's Department in Santa Fe. I can't answer any questions about the investigation. I can't. It's an active investigation in terms of a woman died. She was my friend. The day I arrived in Santa Fe to start shooting, I took her to dinner with Joel, the director. We were a very, very well-oiled crew shooting a film together, and then this horrible event happened.
You met
What
with-
are the
sorry.
What are the questions that you have other than that?
You met with I'm afraid I forget her name in the moment, but you met with her family in the day.
Helena.
Yes,
her
I
name
met
is
with her
Helena. If you're spending this much time waiting for us, you should
don't
know
know
her
her
name.
name?
Her name is Helena.
Helena Hutchins. I met with her husband Matthew and her son. Yeah, that's right.
And how did that meeting go?
I wouldn't know how to characterize it. They're mortified.
You guys, you know what?
Would you-
No details.
But do me a favor. I'm gonna answer the question.
It was a firm, like, excuse me, I got it, thanks. It wasn't loving, it wasn't sweet, it wasn't romantic at all. I wouldn't say it was disrespectful, but it was like you would tell a stranger, excuse me, basically.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So then they're speaking, and one of the paparazzi says, what's the lady's name again? And her name is Helena, by the way. Rest in peace to her. But the paparazzi didn't even know her name. So rightfully so, Hillary, or formerly known as Hilaria, says that... I'm so sorry. I had to. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So basically she steps in and is like, well, you should know her name. If you're going to come in and like asking questions about her, and you're going to be following the story like this, you need to know her name. And Alec is like, listen, I'm going to answer the questions, okay? Like, you just back up, basically.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask, yeah. So how do you feel about that? And then we can get into specifically our mates and how we would feel if the shoe was on the other foot. But how do you feel about what you just heard, if you haven't seen the video?
I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. I'm sure he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
He's, everything's probably, like a whirlwind to him. So maybe just in that environment, bunch of cameras around you, he probably talked to his wife prior, maybe not to do this. And she was probably like, listen, because I know what's best for you, and I'm gonna protect you regardless. How I view marriage is I view it as a team. Like, we're on the same team, and like that Kevin Hart joke he made, we're a unit. You can't be outside looking bad as a unit.
Yeah.
If you looking bad, then I'm looking bad. So for him to publicly sun her, be like, I got it, or essentially like shut the up. Whatever, you're playing her in front of everybody. There's no way, even publicly, I'm going against my wife. I'm just even if we talk and she's just doing that, then I guess this is what we're doing now. I look at it, if I'm making her look bad, I'm looking bad.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
How do you feel?
It's just the same thing like what he said. It's a big one for him though. It's really big, and
Yeah.
like you said, the person who actually died is not just someone on the cast, is actually a friend. So it's really heavy for him to carry, and the fact that he has not actually held an interview about it, and this is the first time. I believe there might have been a conversation between him and the wife, like, I got this. I don't want to get involved in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a good personality outside here.
Right now, yeah.
I don't want to be involved in this whole thing just to make things look worse.
Yeah.
But it still does not warrant that same kind of harsh treatment.
So, in saying that, we're going to go into our discussion topic. Obviously, this is not a scenario that we would be in by the grace of God ever, right?
Yeah.
Right? Generally, is it ever okay for your partner, spouse, significant other to check you in public? Let me ask you as men, as a Nigerian man.
She's trying to get you canceled.
as an Igbo man.
That's what she's trying to do.
As Biafran. No. No, but it's for real. Is it ever okay for your girl, your wife, your whatever to check you? Girl, we not talking to you. To check you in public. Let's say you're drunk and you're saying something crazy
Then
to
I'm
somebody.
drunk.
And she checks you. How am
I even going to know she checks me when I'm even drunk?
No, I mean, not that drunk. Not like belligerent.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
If I'm so drunk to the extent whereby I begin to say things out of line,
yeah.
I don't think I'll be able to be sensitive enough to know she's actually checking on me.
No. I mean, like, after the fact.
Okay.
Are you going to understand, like, no, okay, I was out of line. I deserve that.
If you put your ego aside, you should know.
So you're going to accept it. It's fine.
It's fine because I don't know what's going on. But when I come back to my senses,
You're gonna like.
We're gonna have a conversation about that.
And that's my issue. It's the verbiage that you're using. Like when you say check.
Check.
Like what is the definition?
Okay.
Of check?
Okay. Let me paint a scenario. Let me paint.
A check.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, check that nigga. Like,
Yeah.
But like, yo, you need to chip. Like,
yes.
Ain't gonna be none of that.
No, okay, let me give you a scenario. Hold on, let me give you a scenario. Like, let's do like the Alec Baldwin checking. He didn't tell her shut the fuck up or anything crazy, right? But it was like a
it's
get your ass and like chill out.
It's the manner
of the checking. Okay, so let's say we're in a gathering, right? I'm just pretend like your girls are with you. You're a man. You're talking about female issues, feminism, something like that, right? Because this has happened before. Right? But you're saying something that you're not aware can sound misogynistic. And she's like, good. In front of everybody.
That's not checking to me. That's not checking. That's like
okay.
Again, giving like advice.
That's making you that's trying
all about the verbiage. Like what he did, that's a check. I would never check my wife like that.
So okay.
I would never be like, yo, all right, you need to chill. I would never do that.
What if your wife is white and she's saying some stupid shit about black people, and you know she don't mean her harm?
Again, this is an extreme. So yes, I need to come in because you're about to get us killed. Yes.
Okay, all right, y'all. So we're gonna shift to some Nigerian hot topics. So the first one is I kind of want Chinedu to give us some backstory, because I just want to understand why this man gets so much heat. So we're talking about public figure, very wealthy Igbo public figure. Is he Igbo?
Onyenkem.
Yeah, that's his guy. That's why I want you to address it. So Obi Cubana was arrested shortly after he had a burial for his mother, I believe.
Yeah, burial for his mother. And he threw a lot of money. I don't know if you saw the video where people were throwing bricks of money. Yeah, ridiculous amounts of money, like no shade. I don't know him.
Hey, can I speak my dialect on this?
Yes, you absolutely can. Yes,
ahead.
you can speak your dialect. I mean, make sure you can translate, but yes. Huh?
They can't throw it on my street?
Exactly. That's the question, but it's fine. Exactly.
Don't worry about it. We'll have a conversation with him on that.
Okay. So basically, he threw this money, and somehow he became a target for EFCC. I guess they felt like, because I think at a point in time they banned spraying money in Nigeria because they felt like it was promoting 419, Yahoo, all these fraudsters, whatever, right? So him throwing this money put a target on his back. He was arrested by EFCC, kept in detention, and he's been there for a long time. He was for three days.
I heard it was 3 days.
Didn't they read?
Money?
Yes, basically. Well, they're investigating him. Exactly.
Okay.
So please explain. Sorry.
So basically, what really happened was the fact that we all know the country where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have nothing, nobody trying to investigate nothing about you.
If you're broke,
If you're broke, nobody investigates anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're wealthy and you're from the Igbo tribe,
Mm-hmm.
it's either you're into blood money, which they call ritual,
Yeah.
or you're into drugs.
Or 419.
419. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is,
For those that don't know what 419 is, it's basically like fraudulent.
fraudulent acts.
You're a scammer.
Scammers.
Scammer, yes.
So my thing is, before his mother's burial, how many people knew Obi Cubana?
I didn't know who he was. That's true.
Nobody knew him, apart from we.
The Biafra.
No, not the Biafra thing. People who knows Cubana knows him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People who knows him. But the thing is this, he became a prominent person to talk about because of what he did in his mother's funeral, whereby it was the talk of the town. Where I have a problem with this whole arrest EFCC thing is we have fraudulent ministers, fraudulent politicians. Nobody's looking, nobody's checking them, nobody's arresting anybody. We have situations where they've said a monkey stole 400 million, this blah 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 blah. Nobody is arresting anybody, but a man who, by the special grace of God, God elevated him through the little business he started in Abuja.
Okay. So he has legit funds.
He started a business. He started a business in Abuja.
Okay.
He started a business in Abuja.
What's the business?
He started this whole Cubana restaurant thing. That's how he started.
Okay.
In Abuja.
I'm just trying to make sure so we can give people
but the
facts,
thing is,
you know?
You know, they said something about your friends, like your network
Yeah, which told me who you are.
tells you who you are. Look at the guys he's rolling with. These are men, prominent men too. See, I don't care what people say. If you want to say they are ritualists, or I don't care. Tell me E-Money is a ritualist. That's your business. I don't care. But these men, they have things. These men, they have things they can back themselves up with.
Yeah.
They have international companies. They would like. Recently, there's this real estate thing they went for.
Yeah.
Projects that they went for.
Okay.
And they put it was on social media. So tomorrow night, if that thing starts hitting up millions, you want to tell me the EFCC now want to go check them? Why is the EFCC not checking Tinubu? Why is the EFCC not checking other people here? Why are they not checking prominent politicians?
Yeah.
So why is it the last time something like this happened to us, E-Money.
Oh, really?
The last time something like this happened to us, E-Money.
Yeah.
Now it's Obi Cubana. Who is it going to be next? But guess what? These men are not going anywhere. The more you check them, the more money are coming in. I don't care what anybody says.
That's homeboy.
These are my people. If you're so
Check it out.
it's either you hate them or you join them.
I mean, I belong to Jesus because I'm not quite sure.
See, let me tell you something. Gone are the days where you want to tell me ritual is this, ritual is that, ritual is that.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
If my father was a dibia, for those of you who don't know what a dibia means, a native doctor.
Okay.
Makes all these men make money, and I'll be the one to go to the stream to fetch water for, like.
That is so true. Do you know they said that?
What's that?
He said that before. That is so true. Everyone thinks that these people go to native doctors, but the native doctors they go to are always poor. Their sons are broke.
Why is a native doctor
they
not
don't have
making
money,
their,
so it's like,
why
really?
is the native, if it's easy for a native doctor to give you money?
Yeah.
Why can't the native doctor make his son a wealthy person?
Yeah. That's so true. They're always broke.
If you keep,
I just figured they like that.
Maybe they like living in the bush.
My thing is this, See, you know what I'm saying? My thing is why is it that the so-called native doctor don't want to elevate, maybe from staying into the bushes? Now he wants these people to rent a 2-bedroom apartment, furnishing it with AC.
They never,
So you're telling me their gods don't like AC?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my thing is this whole.
That's so true.
It's crap. This man has ideas for business. If you want them to educate you on how they make their money, instead of going to the media to blaspheme them and say whatever you want to say, go and meet them. These men are hustlers. Igbo men are hustlers. They have suffered. It's only God that can expose these men for me to see who they really are.
Yeah.
But for me, I will defend this man from now to eternity. I don't care who you bring. I don't care who you bring to my face to try to manipulate the whole thing.
Sway me from my brother.
Me, you see this man. I will call their names. One of them just celebrated his birthday recently. His name is Ifeanyi. Okay. You see, a guy Ifeanyi. Okay. I'll go Obi Cubana. Okay. E-Money. All right. Chief priest. Even my very good friend Zubi. So many people have been pointing hand on Zubi, saying how much does Zubi has. What does
you know who Zubi is? Zubi, you know the Two-Face. Burna Boy video that killing him, the one that's like abu labu 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 labu. That's that actor. So everybody thinks he's done some type of ritual.
Everybody's talking about Zubi. How many movies does Zubi add that he's making all this money? I will defend all these people. Till God expose my eyes and tell me, Chinedu, my son, these men are. Then I will agree.
I was gonna say, if they are doing
see, my thing is,
I feel like the cops are doing the right thing.
So we're going to move on from that hot topic into our final discussion topic before we close out for today. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the conversation so far. If you love someone, does that mean that you have to accept every part of them, including their bad habits?
Yes. And no, like a small no.
Okay.
Yes, if you love someone, I mean, yeah, if that's just how they are,
yeah,
I mean, that's what you're got yourself into. But I feel like there are some habits you can change.
What if it's a worse bad? If it's like a worse bad habit, like smoking?
No, well, see, for my wife, her pet peeve is like she doesn't tolerate any type of smoke. So she'll tolerate maybe the small stuff, but everybody has like a thing. It's like, okay, you know, like this is not like, no matter what, this is not what I'm like tolerating at all. So,
well, I think it's they say love is sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna sacrifice your habits, I must see a sign of you willing to drop those habits because you want to make sacrifice for me too as well. The fact that you love me too. It's a give and take thing.
What if she's like really messy and you're like a clean person, something like that?
She has to fix
yeah,
it.
nah.
Well, because before we even get to the part where we're married,
and
I realize the fact that you're messy, that might actually hold me back
from even wanting
to get married to you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because there are some things that we feel love can solve. By the end of the day, you realize the fact that love is not even the answer to this.
Yeah.
It's you being on that shit. Put your emotions aside. Put this whole love thing aside and be real with yourself. Like on the 1 to 10 of scale, can I deal with this shit? Yeah. If you know you can't deal with it, forget the years. Because if you're looking at the years you spent courting, you also need to be considering the years you guys are going to live together as married people.
That's why this might be controversial, but that's why I feel like people should live with each other before they get married.
I was going to ask that. What do you think about that?
I think you should because
it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
It's a different ball game
when you live
courting with somebody from outside and actually when you're actually living with the person. Like this, he's gonna reveal so.
I think you should
much.
at least have. The only reason I would say maybe not live, but like you should spend like a week or a week there or 2 weeks. The only reason I say if you're waiting, okay, from a Christian perspective, right? Because I held out. So if you're waiting till marriage, you're not gonna be able to hold out if you live with this guy.
But guess what though?
You're gonna give it up. I believe in pop-ups though.
I don't do pop-ups.
Pop-up.
No.
Whatever.
No.
If you're ladies, hold on. If you're dating a guy,
just pop up.
I'm gonna explain. If this is your boyfriend, this is your fiance, and you live in a different city, he lives in a different whatever, pop up. Unexpected, no call, no text, no beforehand. Pop the hell up.
No,
and you're going to find out, you're trying to surprise him and figure out if he surprised your ass with some information that you need to know.
No, it's a different thing when you're trying to surprise your man. But the reason why I don't
surprise, but be strategic. No. I'm coming to see if everything is everything.
The only reason why I disagree to pop-ups is because we should learn how to respect each other's space. For real.
That's what you say.
This dude ain't your husband yet.
But your fiance.
It's your fiance.
Okay,
let me
if he asks you to put a ring on your finger, he want to spend the rest of your life with you, girl, pop the hell up. Okay? Pop up, pull up. Hey babe, I'm outside. Open your door. Surprise. See what he do.
You gonna surprise
me? For you find Shaquana, who was twerking in the campus.
But before you want to do the pop-up, before you want to do the pop-up thing, and before you make up your mind on doing the pop-up thing, you must have sensed something is wrong with your relationship.
No.
Yeah.
Even if you think your relationship is
No, you don't
perfect,
see- you don't
he's
think,
never
though.
lied to you. He's never given you any reason to
you
doubt
don't-
him.
You don't think
Pop up, sis.
See, but you don't think. No, you don't think though.
You will see.
You should know.
Make sure Yemisi is not in his bed. Okay? Make sure Ngozi is not in his bed.
Huh? You said what?
Popping up is wild.
No, it's not. Why I can't pop up? And
Yeah.
if okay, like now I'm married, me and James, right?
Yeah.
If he's at work,
You're just knocking on my door.
if he's at work, I mean, I trust him implicitly. He's never given me any reason to
Okay.
ever question. I just know him. I know him. That's my person, right?
So why do you want to pop up?
But if I'm married to you, I'm entitled to pop the hell up. What you hiding, bruh? Why I can't pop up?
No.
Pop up, sis.
You can pop up, but I'm gonna look at you crazy like.
That's fine.
Why the fuck would you just pop
It's
up?
okay. It's all right.
Yo, like-
It's not the first. It wouldn't be the first time, but you'll be happy you
But
popped up.
you might be
Pop the hell up,
But
sis.
you might end up.
Okay, what do you have to
You
hide?
might.
Why can't she pop up?
No, listen. You might end up having a crack in your relationship just because of that.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
You don't trust them.
Because
No,
I'll
I'm
tell you
surprised.
this is not a conversation for today, but I'm just gonna say something.
No, not every time.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something.
If you're together 3 years, you should have popped up at least 6 times.
What?
Twice a year. What you hide? Pick a random day, and pop up. Pop up on that ass.
So it's one day in summer, one day in winter.
Yeah.
One day summer, one day winter.
No, switch it up. Next time, do one day in fall, one day in spring.
Oh my God. You're gonna have a crack in your relationship.
Pop
because-
the hell up.
Do you know what I'm saying this? Do you know what I'm saying this? One of the things men don't really like.
It's
in
telling the truth.
No. You guys don't like hearing the truth though. We're trying to tell you guys the truth, but you guys don't like hearing the truth.
People lie, guys. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Not you, right? Not y'all. But guys lie. And they string women along sometimes, and you don't find out until you're
See,
deep
I
in a
don't-
marriage
I don't-
with
I
kids,
don't-
and
I
now
don't-
you got to
see,
get a divorce.
My thing is this.
Like, how else are you gonna know?
It's stressful to trying to figure out what the phone is saying, popping up, who am I going to see? It's stressful.
Right.
It's more stressful than thinking about going through a divorce. I'm going to tell you the simple truth.
Okay, I understand that. I
telling you.
understand that point. That was a beautiful point. Easy, I understand that point. Sis, pop the hell up. Okay. I mean, I've never done it. Well, yeah, I've never done it. No, I haven't. Not in my current relationship. But
Exactly.
I mean, but he's just like abnormal. I don't want to make it like he's so different, but like he's abnormally open, okay, and calls me like several times a day. So like, you know what I'm saying? But most guys are just not like that. So I'm just saying, I understand where you guys are coming from.
My thing is, deal with who you're hanging out with. Forget about what other people's experiences are. You don't know the reason why they're experiencing what they're experiencing. Some people bring in wrong energy into their relationship because they're trying to be too sure. You can't be too sure. If your spirit is aligned to who you're dealing with, go with it.
All right, y'all. So we are going to touch on a lot more topics next episode. Stay tuned. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the post notification bell so you will be notified every time that we drop another episode. Easy will probably be back. Chinedu will likely be back. And hopefully we'll have some other female voices so that they can confirm that you need to pop up on that ass. All right?